Justin Kennington dropped a super chat for $1.99. He says, what was the tease of Aleister Black on Raw? And this was a very, very interesting thing that a lot of people may have not caught. But there was a backstage segment with Chad Gable, and he's got a luchador problem. And basically, this luchador problem it could be solved, which is really interesting because he is given a card. And basically, for those who don't know, the card was, in fact, the Dark Arts. What was it called again?
The Dark Arts. It was the Dark Arts of luchadors, or the Dark. What was it?
It's like it's basically the name of Aleister Black and Zelina Vega's
gym. Yes,
gym.
It's their gym. It's the Dark Arts wrestling gym or something like that.
Yeah. So, dude, Dominic Mysterio gives him this card, right?
Yep.
Why would he give Aleister Black, or why would he give Chad Gable Aleister Black's number, right?
Uh-huh.
But they were very specific and teasing.
Well, a lot of people thought it would potentially be Santos.
Now, why are they doing that?
That it didn't make sense to me. This is the only thing that genuinely makes sense. But what well, I guess maybe the LWO potentially. I was about to say, like, what ties does Aleister Black have to Dominic Mysterio? And why would Dom know hey, this is the guy to call?
Because Zelina Vega.
Okay. All right. That's fair. So what, do you think they're going to pair Aleister with Zelina?
I mean, why not?
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I would not be opposed to it whatsoever.
Mike says it makes no sense unless Zelina is breaking away from Ray and LWO. Okay, but...
Well, that's what I think potentially could happen.
The LWO doesn't need to be a 9-person group. I know that's an exaggerative number, but it doesn't need to be this massive thing. The LWO literally could be Rey Mysterio and it could be Rey Mysterio and 2 guys or 3 guys. I don't know. I don't know why you laughing.
What are their names? The 2 guys that are in there right now.
You already forgot?
Joaquin
Wilde?
Joaquin Wilde and...
That's Joaquin Wilde and Cruz, Del Toro Cruz.
So Del Toro Cruz, thank you. And Dragon Lee's in there.
Dragon Lee, that's what I'm saying. But because you got to remember, Santos Escobar, Humberto Carrillo, and Garza, they're on SmackDown.
Yes.
But they're not in the LWO.
Right.
But obviously, when it comes to the LWO, like, Zelina Vega could break off. And then, listen, if you want, like, the LWO could be shortened or small. Like, Zelina Vega doesn't need to be in there. What Zelina Vega really needs to do is break off anyways, because we got this mid-card on Raw with the women's division. Zelina Vega, Natalia, Lyra Valkyria, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Kairi Sane. Like, there's a lot of women that could go for that Intercontinental Championship.
Yes.
Zelina Vega could definitely be there. But yeah, obviously, listen, we have this situation where Dominic Mysterio gives Chad Gable a card to deal with his situation, and it's he's got a luchador problem, and I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe like this is them teasing Aleister Black again because the name was the
Dark Arts Performance Gym,
whatever it was. Yeah, and it was like
the internet moves so quick too. I have to let that be known. Like, how many people knew that?
Chad Gable literally says, quote, "I'm about to master the dark arts of Lucha Libre."
Boom. Thank you.
Like, I think that right there is like, okay, so whose name is on the card? Obviously, when you see that, you have to think it's going to be Malachi Black. Now, guys, just remember, WWE has done this before. They teased Okada, and Okada didn't come to WWE. So this is not a for sure thing where, Aleister Black is coming back to WWE. I do think he is. I'm not dumb.
I mean, now I think the writing's on the wall.
But then what? Chad Gable's going to be this guy that every single time there's an issue, like, he's got to start.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's always got to take on the new incomer. And are they going to bring him in right now? Like, do you think they would bring him in right at this very moment?
I I don't know his contract situation. Tony Khan is fucking around. Tony Khan
Yeah,
is
Tony don't let nobody know nothing.
Tony Khan. Nobody knows. There's too much secrecy, and the thing is, WWE will know obviously because Zelina
Right.
Vega's there, and she'll be able to find out. And maybe that's a way to go around certain things. But you know, with Aleister Black, Malachi Black, the fact that he's rotting away in AEW, and let me just be really clear, like. Dude, you got people in your company that don't want to be there. Again, how many times do I have to say this when we're live? If you have people in your company who don't want to be there, it's as simple as just letting them go. Because the more that you don't put them on TV, and the more, because WWE can tease whatever the hell they want. They could just make these subtle little comments on commentary, despite the fact that he's literally on an AEW contract. They can say whatever they want. But WWE could play that game too, where it's like, okay, they're not going to let Malachi Black go. We know that he's going to come here because X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And then, by the way, we're going to make comments on commentary. Again, they did this with Okada. Okada didn't come, but everybody was listening and everybody saw that. You know, they did the stuff with CM Punk, and supposedly the CM Punk deal didn't happen until like a day of.
Yeah,
but
they were playing into it.
Yeah, they play into it. That's WWE. That's how commentary works. Chad Gable versus Malachi Black would be sick. Zelina Vega being with Malachi Black would be really awesome because they're husband and wife. So obviously I would be happy for them being on TV together. But listen, let's talk about this. Let's kind of like fantasy book for a second. I've already given you my fantasy booking before about Aleister Black going up to be the world championship. But in this event that, you know, in this current time at this exact moment,
yeah,
if Aleister Black comes in and let's say he's free from his contract today, do you put him on TV right away, or do you put him in the Royal Rumble, or what do you do? Because he's probably not going to be part of WrestleMania. It might be too late to be part of WrestleMania because those plans are already in the books.
That I agree. So here's the thing. I can't believe I'm about to say this because as bad as I want Aleister Black on TV right now, right?
Yeah.
I think you hold off. I think you hold off till sometime after WrestleMania. Let him come in, and you kind of can do the same thing. Maybe not with Chad Gable. Maybe you can do it with somebody else. But you kind of do the same thing with Penta. Kind of get him re-recognized with the audience, right? And when you bring him in, you could potentially have him lead up to SummerSlam. You know what I mean? Have a big match at SummerSlam and whatnot. That's what I would do personally.
I understand what you're saying. I think WWE should probably just get to the point where they do a multi-man ladder match and multi-man for the IC title and US title WrestleMania. Penta, Black, Andrade.
I hear you. I hear you on that. I just don't know if that happens.
That's what I would do. Get everybody on that card, let them wrestle, let them show the fuck off, and then eventually prepare Aleister Black for the world title.
Yeah.
So simple as that.